Today is July 23rd, 1996. I'm interviewing Rosette Ganon, Ganon, maiden name Himmelshine, Himelsajn. My name is Honey Fisher, Fisher. The interview is being conducted in Toronto, Canada, in English. Today is July 23rd, 1996. I'm interviewing Rosette Ganon, née Himmelshine. My name is Honey Fisher, Fisher. We're doing the interview in Toronto, Canada, in English. Could you please introduce yourself by telling us your name and spelling it?
My name is Rosette Ganon, Ganon, and my maiden name was Himmelshine, but it's spelled the Polish way, Himelsajn. That's it.
And did you have any other names at all?
Very briefly. I carried somebody else's birth certificate with the name Madeleine or something, but I don't remember even the last name. But very briefly. I never really used it. I had it with me, but that's it.
And was your last name different at all?
Yes, but I don't even remember.
Okay. And when were you born and how old are you today?
I was born in Belgium, Brussels, in September 1930. So I'm 65. I turned a senior.
And what were your parents' names?
My father was Schleume, Himmelshine, and my mother was Fremtje Esther Schlifka, maiden name.
And did you have any brothers or sisters?
No, I was the only child. And I was born exactly 1 year after my parents' wedding, by the day, as a present. It's funny.
How did your family support itself?
My father had a small, what can I say, like workshop. They were, workers were working leather things, like this. And my mother was helping too, especially the bookkeeping and all that. Invoicing, bookkeeping, that I remember.
So if they were both working, who looked after you?
So when I was 6 months old, I don't know, my mother said my father, that was my father's idea. They put me in a, I can't say a foster home, but here, foster home, you think about deprived, no? So in the outskirts of Brussels, they put me with a family. He was from Belgium, and she was from Austria, and they didn't have children. And to make a living, they were keeping children. He was working in a chocolate factory, and she was keeping, we were always 5-6 children there. So I stayed with them from the age of 6 months till about, I was 15 and a half.
And what were their names?
Marie et Auguste Le Marchand.
Could you spell that last name?
Limerchand, and Marie and Auguste. Maria, really.
Were you the only Jewish child in this family?
No, I was not. But, some kids were there for a few months, even for a few weeks, or for the holidays. But I was there, from 6 months old till only during the war, my parents took me, but that's later, when I was about 9 and a half.
And during this time, did you get to see your parents? Did they
visit? Yes,
visit?
Every Sunday they came to visit me. And I was very happy there. I didn't want to go even to stay overnight at my parents, that was my home.
Did you feel they were your parents?
Yes. And I was very happy there.
Did it feel strange to you at all that you had two sets of parents?
I was lucky, because when they came on Sunday, they always came. It was like Christmas every Sunday, especially my father. Yeah.
So it wasn't a feeling of being deprived of
I
your
know,
parents?
no, I was very happy. And this is why I was lucky that during the war, most of the time I stayed there. I knew that I was in danger, especially after the Gestapo came, but I was very happy. Yes.
And were you brought up as a Jewish person?
No. I knew I was Jewish, but I was brought up mostly, even other kids were there also Jewish, but we went to church sometimes, you know, with other kids. And at school, it was a public school, but we had no choice, you know, there was only Catholic learning. And in my class was another Jewish girl that I'm still friends with. And always, you know, we were afraid somebody will know we are Jewish and we killed Jesus Christ. You know, we were panicky that somebody will know and will tell us, you killed Jesus Christ, you know. But always we had this panic in us, even before the war, you know. But I don't know, religion was not, you know, I learned Catholic religion like everybody else, and we had no choice.
So how did you know you were Jewish? If at the age of 6 months...
I don't know. I knew I was Jewish. Maybe not at that time, I didn't know. I don't know. I don't remember. Only when the war started, I realized that, you know, I did something wrong. I was born Jewish, and we had to hide.
But did the Le Marchands ever mention anything about being
yes,
Jewish?
Especially in 36, I think about 36, they like adopted 3 children, Jewish children from Germany. The Red Cross asked for volunteer family, you know, to take in Jewish children from Germany, and they took 3 children. A girl that was 1 year older than me, Jenny, then one that was maybe 1 year younger than me, and then a boy 2 years younger than me, about Jenny, Erna, and Joseph. And they were, then I realized, you know, I heard from them, they were speaking German, but I had also a German background because Madame Le Marchand was speaking to me also in German because she was from Austria, and all the children's songs, and so I always learned in German. So when they came and they speak, the 3 of them, you know, for me it was easy. We spoke, the 4 of us, only in German, between us, not with the other kids. But and then I learned that in Germany there was somebody that wanted to kill all the Jews, and me too, you know. But he was in Germany, so it was no, you know, never. At that time we never thought about that he will, you know. It was maybe 37, maybe, I don't know, I don't remember exactly. But then I realized that to be a Jew, you know, somebody, you know, it's dangerous to be a Jew, you know. But it was in Germany. We didn't think about, you know, it was far. And they came, they had parents in Germany, and also a little brother they were coming, you know, to join them. They never did it. They never heard about them anymore. Maybe 1 or 2 letters, and that was it.
What were these children's last names?
Birnbaum, Jenny, Erna, and Joseph Birnbaum. And all the 3 are converted, are Catholic now. Yes. Jenny converted after she came back from Auschwitz.
Was this the circumstance where your name was changed when you were taken
Oh, no,
in?
no, not at that time, because at that time we never thought about, you know, what, no, not at that time. But slowly during the war, it's strange because I talked to the other Jewish girl in my class, Melanie. Her name was Zuckerman, and she also made it sound a little bit more Flemish with the time, and me too. But I don't realize, maybe somebody, because how could I change on my paper, but maybe somebody in school, you know, helped us, even saying that it's easier to read or so. So at the end, instead of S-Z-A-G-N, they put L-Z-Y-N. But I thought that I did it, but I think somebody must have helped me or suggested. I don't think that I would have thought about myself.
And the name Madeleine, was that changed?
No, that you know, when Madame and Monsieur Le Marchand moved to another, you know, they moved and I moved with them, and Jenny too. And I had to take the train to go to school because I didn't want to change high school. And then they gave me, I think maybe I don't know if it was a false or not, another birth certificate with his name. And then I knew the name and the date of birth or so, but I had it always in my pocket. But you know, strange, in my books were not changed. I was Rosette Ganon, it was, you know. And, but I never had, you know, never, nobody ever asked me to that point, you know, to show my birth certificate. Because the other kids too that went to school, you know, they didn't walk around with a birth certificate. I had it, but, you know, even when at the train station, many times the German look into our things or so, but they never asked for our papers because a kid, you know, 15, 14 doesn't carry a... In Belgium you have carte d'identité, identity card, but after 16 you don't have it before, so why should I, you know, wear it? But I knew, I had it, but I never, you know, this is why even the name, I don't remember even the last name, only the first name I remember.
I'd like to know a little bit more about the household you lived in. Did they treat you like you were their own child? Did you feel that?
No, but you know, I was a little bit like their child, and the other one were like foster children. Even now when I speak to Jenny, she say, oh yes, you had always the best deal. But at that time maybe I didn't remember, you know, like we took a bath once a week, and whoever was there, we never changed the water, and most of the time I was the first one. And that Jenny reminded me of. She said, you know, yeah, you were always the first in the bathtub. I said, I don't remember, you know. I didn't make me proud. I was the first. Maybe I was the less dirty. I don't know, but I was the first one. But she still remember. And I said, did it bother you? She said, no, we took it for granted that you were like their child, you know, even that my parents came to visit me and so.
But at the time you don't remember it being treated any better?
I knew I know I was treated better, but not to the point that the other one were suffering. Then, you know, they were like foster children, and I was the, you know, that was my house maybe. But I don't know, I didn't take advantage, I don't think, you know, where. Maybe they felt it, but I didn't. And when she said that, lately she said, yeah, you were the first one in the bathtub. And I said, yeah, did it bother you? No, that was it, you know.
And what was the house like that you lived in?
It was a small house with a big garden. And it was, you know, that's it, like a regular house. Nothing, not luxurious and not, but it was a little house, comfortable.
Did you have enough food to eat?
Oh yes, up to the war, you know, it was, now it's part of Brussels where we lived. It was the Grand Bigard, but then it was the country with farmers around and so, and everybody was speaking Flemish then in this neighborhood where we lived. But up to the war, yeah, you know, yeah, we had enough food and we were really well treated, and it was not like, I can say I was well treated, I think them too, you know. But my parents always came on the weekend, on the Sunday, and always brought me things that, I don't know, I don't remember, I think I shared it, but you know, they knew it was my parents that brought it, or other parents, but like Jenny and her sister and brother, nobody came to visit them ever. They don't have any relative, you know, the parents and the brother. She went to Germany after the war and tried to find, and even with Yad Vashem, and she couldn't find any trace of the parent from Köln, you know, in Germany.
Was this a paid setup?
Yes, but you know, I'm sure it was not. It was by the Red Cross, so I'm sure that it was a token paid. It was not like here government that pays, you know, for foster children. I'm sure they were paid up to the war. They were paid, you know, but it was. I don't think that they could make a living from them, from that. Yeah.
And what about the relationship between Jews and Gentiles in that area? Did they mix freely?
You know, I think we were the only Jews kilometers around. You know, there were, I don't know, only at school there was one other Jewish girl, Melanie Zuckerman, and but she was quite far from me, and she said, I asked her, she said, oh, you know, they pass for, like the black people that pass for white, maybe. We didn't say we were Catholic, but we didn't say we were Jewish. That's it, you know.
How did you know that Melanie was Jewish, and how did she know
I
you
don't
were?
know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember. You know, that's 60 years ago. I don't know. I should ask her, you know, because I'm still in contact with her. She lives in Vienna. But we talk, and I went there a few times, and she came here. But I don't know how she knew and how I knew. Maybe there were others that we don't know, you know. In the school, Jenny and her sister and her brother were also.
Were the Le Marchands involved in any kind of religious activities?
No, not at all.
And
not
so
at
that
all.
you didn't have to be involved either?
No, but when they moved to Genval, so I don't know, all the kids, maybe somebody said to me that it would be good for me to pass for Christian, to go to church. So then I start to go every Sunday with the other kids, you know, we went to...
Who said that it would be good for you?
I don't know, maybe the Le Marchand, you know, or somebody say that, I don't know, maybe the kids I played in the street say, oh, we go to Mass, let's go to Mass. I don't know, but I know that almost every Sunday, even the parents never went with us, but we, the kids, most of the time we went to church. It was like a small town, you know, so everybody knew who went, so everybody went, you know, so I went too.
And did you go through communion too?
No.
You didn't have communion?
No, because, you know, I told you when they moved, I was over the age of communion, and by chance they made a nice picture of me, and I always say, yeah, it's a picture of the second day of my communion, so I went through you know, and then it was not a very religious place, village, you know, a town where we lived, so I didn't. But we went to church, maybe because, you know, we had nothing to do Sunday morning. All the kids went there, I don't know.
Did you ever have a sense of confusion? Because you said you knew you were Jewish, but you were doing this, or did this feel natural to you?
It didn't bother me. It didn't bother me, I don't know. It didn't bother me.
Did you have the sense that this isn't what Jews do?
No, not even. Not even. You know, and when after the war, you know, I came back to my parents, and then somebody said, why don't you go to a Jewish organization? I said, Jewish organization? Why the Jews, you know, go together like this? Why, you know? But I went, and that's it, you know.
As you said that you started to hear more about Hitler.
Yeah.
How did you get information? And what kind of information was it?
When Germany attacked Belgium, you know, so my parents and many Jews ran away from Belgium.
When was that?
I think it was May 40, I think.
1940.
So they took me, and we went, many Jews ran away because, you know, we heard that the German that killed the Jews took over Belgium, you know, the king. No, he didn't abdicate, he let them in, you know. So all the Jews ran away. So my father came to pick me up, and my mother, and we drove to Paris. And on the road, you know, German planes, they were shooting at us. Everybody was going in one direction, nobody was coming back. And we arrived to Paris, and we took my father's brother, the wife, and the two daughters, and I don't know, I think we were 3 cars, somebody else, another couple, also with a daughter.
Do you remember their names?
No, I don't. I know they had a girl, a daughter, and I don't know. I think maybe they were somewhat related, but I don't know. I don't remember, and nobody, survived. And we went up to Limoges, but I don't know why we went there or so. We went to a small village, really a small village in France, and it was Saint-Jean-les-Gours. It was near Limoges, and I don't know, we moved in, the three couples, in a little house, and the men disappeared in the underground. They were contacted by the underground, and they went. I was there from May up to October, I think, with my mother and my aunt and the other woman. And I don't know from what they lived. My mother, I don't know how they ate every day or what. I don't know. I have no idea. And I started to go to school in September. I think already in June also, in May, there was a school, and I went to school. And in September too. And then we had neighbors also from Belgium, but they were not Jewish. There was a teacher in a high school and his wife, and a maid, and a girl a little bit older than me, and they were going back to Belgium. And I say to my mother, I wish I could go back to Belgium, And one day she said, you want to go back? They go back to Belgium. Do you want to go with them? I said, yes, I want to go. So I didn't have any paper, nothing. She didn't know even what happened to the people where I was going, because we were not in contact from May to October. So these people took me from free France to occupied Belgium. And at the border, we were stopped, but so in the back of the car there was the daughter and the maid, and then I always slept on the floor, and they put a blanket over me. And that was October, started to be cold, and I went through the border twice, because from free France to occupied France and to Belgium. And I arrived to the Le Marchand, and they were, really very happy to see me. And they took me. After my mother, I don't know if she wrote or what, but a few years later, it took a few years, she came back. And she took a small apartment somewhere.
During this, these few months where you were in France,
yes.
How did that feel for you? Were you?
Yeah, but it was such a not quite time, because there were soldiers, French soldiers. It was war. So was there? We had a little house behind, like a grocery store, cafe, and the kids were always there in the cafe. We had nothing to do in the summer. It was summer holidays, and I don't know. It was like a crazy time like that.
Were you scared?
No, not really.
Did you know what was going on?
No, because there was no TV. When we knew it was war, but we saw the soldier, the French soldier. So I never saw a German soldier up to the time I went back to Belgium. But no, it was not a scary time. The scary time was back in Belgium. But there it was, in a small village, and it was nice weather. The kids were playing outside all the time. We had nothing to do.
And how did you feel living with your mother after all these years?
Yeah, but I was living with my mother and my aunt and this other woman and 3 more girls, So it was like on holidays. I didn't realize the situation, I think. I was 9 years old. It was quite, a crazy time.
Did you miss the La Marchands?
Yeah, I miss them. This is why I say one day to my mother, I wish I was mad at her, I don't know what. I wish I can go back to them,
So you actually preferred to be with them than
yes,
your natural mother?
Well, that was my parents,
Yeah,
so.
you really considered them as your parents,
yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went back.
How did the Le Marchands feel when your mother wanted to take you to Paris? Did they want to
I'm
let you
sure
go?
they didn't want, they had like to fight to take me. First, I didn't want to go, you know, but they wanted to go to take me. So I went. And then that was a dangerous trip. That was a very dangerous trip because we were always, you know, with machine guns, the cars, you know, and some people were hit, you know, on the road. We saw the Exodus. It was called Exodus. And airplanes come and shoot over you, and then you get out of the car and you go in the field there, and you know, you hope for the best. But I think as children, you know, we don't even realize the, you know, the danger we are into that. I think children, you know, don't know it's dangerous. You know, they would jump from the roof. You know, they don't realize it. And this is why I hesitated a long time, you know, to have this tape, because I was quite happy, you know. Okay, they are very, you know, like when the Gestapo came and all that, but in the long run, you know, I was quite happy even during the war. Even it was, you know, terrible, but really my case, I must say, it was not so dramatic. So I thought that I don't belong to the hidden children, you know. But still, I think.
Did you think of yourself as a hidden child during this time?
I think I'm, no, not ashamed, but, you know, I say, you know, I was so lucky. I can't, you know, I'm a hidden child, yeah, but in a way, I was quite happy. So, that I was happy, you know, I don't deserve the title of hidden child. I was not in a concentration camp or so, I was. But we knew there was something, you know, a danger over us. But only a few episodes, I was really, you know, scared. But like that, you know, I went to school every day almost.
So when you got back to Belgium,
yeah.
Things seemed back to normal? You were going to school?
Yeah.
Was there any sense that it was more dangerous now
yes,
to be Jewish?
I knew, because then we start to see the Germans, you know, in the streets. You saw everywhere German soldier, you know, and Gestapo. The Gestapo was worse, you know, was German shepherds, you know. They were going around with German shepherds. Until now, you know, I see a German shepherd, you know, it's still, that was.
What were they doing in the streets, the Germans?
They were looking, if somebody looks Jewish, you know. They asked for the paper, and then there was always a truck there, and put them in, you know.
You saw that happen?
Oh, yes, we saw it, always, you know. We saw them. It was not hidden, or we heard this one was taken, or this one. But at the beginning, we thought that they go to work, you know, in Germany. I was too young to go, but the Jews, you know, got an invitation to go to Germany, and they went, you know, like sheep. You know, they were not. They could say no, I don't go, but they went. They went in concentration camp. They went.
Was there any different feeling in school during this time?
At that time, when I was still a few years in the public school, then no, not really. And then, I think in '42 they moved, and it's about that time. I started high school before they moved, and then I stayed in the same high school. So, but they lived quite far away, so I took the train. And the first train was quite late, and the school finished earlier than the train, so I had always 2 hours to lose, you know, to try to spend somewhere. So I was walking in the street like this, so I saw many things, you know, that I had nothing to do.
You have to take a break and just change tapes now.